Bitcoin and Dogecoin. What's the next move? Let's find out in the chart, shall we? Is Dogecoin going to take over and be the new world reserve currency and head all the way up to the moon thanks to Elon Musk? Or is it going to crash all the way back down after breaking this trend line and head all the way back to zero? We're going to talk about that and more in today's episode. So if you're interested in Dogecoin going to the moon and Bitcoin, lagging behind, right? You're going to hit the like, subscribe button and all. Yes, Dogecoin changes everything for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And my name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm here joined with Inti Campo.
Good morning, people. How are you today?
Oh man, you know what? Ever since Elon Musk came onto the scene and he's decided to buy Bitcoins, it's changed everything. This is Bitcoin before Elon and now Bitcoin after Elon. There's Bitcoin before Elon and Bitcoin after Elon Musk, and that is a huge thing because now, right, all the CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies are looking at this and going, well, you know what? I have the same problem as you do. I have millions and millions of dollars of cash. No, billions of dollars of cash. And a 2%, even just a 2% reduction, thanks to inflation, right, will equate into tens of millions of dollars. Can't have that kind of loss happening, right? So corporations are going to be jumping on the bandwagon of Dogecoin. Oh man, yeah. So no, just kidding, guys. You know what? Honestly, I think Elon Musk probably bought Dogecoin, right? Because he couldn't purchase the Bitcoin before his company was buying it, because then he got an advantage, and he couldn't do it afterwards either. So the only thing he could do is purchase some other asset, and he got himself loaded up on Doge, most likely. Wouldn't be surprised if we find out later that he loaded up on Doge. But yeah, it's wild times, definitely, right? And so it's gonna be a great ride, don't you think, Inti?
Yes, I personally think that if Elon really bought Dogecoin, it was because he and the coin are living memes. Not because any other reason, not because they're a store of value or anything, just because of the meme.
Maybe, yeah, it's fun. Dogecoin is a fun meme, right? And you know what? The Dogecoin community is lots of fun. So yeah, why not participate in the Dogecoin community? Understand that this thing's not going to probably replace Bitcoin, but hey, it's fun whilst it's still here, and it seems to be doing fairly well. So yeah, I'm not against Dogecoin, right? But I don't think you should put your whole life savings in it. It's just my personal opinion. Alrighty, with that said, let's get on to TA. But before we do, don't you got a few words to say?
Yes, I do. As always, people, it's worth to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not financial advice. Please do your own research before putting any of your hard-earned money on the market.
Yes, excellent. And Inti's going to be looking in the chat rooms, right, to check to see if you guys have any questions for me. And he's going to do the question and answers at the end of the show. So that part will be edited out. So if you want to watch that, you have to watch this on live on YouTube with us by purchasing DavinciJ15 by heading over to DavinciJ15.com and purchasing a subscription, or you could also purchase the DJ15 token as well. All right, let's head over to what's going on in the market. Wow, it's just unbelievable how this happened, right? I mean, as soon as this filing came, right, immediately we busted through the falling wedge. We headed high. We kept on going higher, and we stopped at this accidental trend line. I don't know if you missed probably missed the show that I did yesterday, because that show is actually posted on my my alternative channel. If you look in the links in the description below, you'll find my alternative channel, and also you'll find the that video where I talked about where I drew this trend line, which was actually an accident. It was actually just an AB equals CD, right, off of this bottom here, and I just happened to line it up with the falling wedge the symmetrical triangle that we originally had before that broke down. So as you can see right there, there's the symmetrical triangle, right? It broke down, and this was the upper band. This is the upper line of that symmetrical breakdown symmetrical triangle, and it just happened to. There you go. It hits that trend line perfectly. That happens time and time again. That's a good place to take profits whenever there's a massive explosive move in any kind of market. Right. If there was a previous or trend, what's it called? Wedge pattern or triangle, symmetrical triangle. Actually, this was a symmetrical triangle. Yeah, that's a perfect thing to take profits on. And look at that. It just bounced off of that perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. So, let's go down to the lower time frames, because there's not much we can do here, because right now where Bitcoin is in a super hyper volatile state. What you have to do, you start looking for the M's and W's, or you could start looking for other trading patterns at the lower time frames. But just keep in mind, you do that at the lower time frames, they tend to draw them out in order to manipulate the market so that you take a loss. So just keep that in mind, and just make sure that when you do trade, right, you use proper what's it called again? You don't go more than 5% of your portfolio. Make sure that you do proper risk management. Never go more than 5% of your whole portfolio when you take any kind of trade, and it should be lower than that, especially in the lower time frames, because that's where they really get you. So here you can see we're in a downward trend, right? Once this trend breaks, whether it breaks to the bottom or to the upside, you could take a long or a short, all depending on which way it breaks. You don't want to wait until you don't want to try to guess which way it's going until it actually breaks. And you could actually, once it does, you could actually take a small short with a 2% loss. Or small, short or long, right? Let's gonna assume it's gonna be a long, and you could go, okay, well, if it breaks here, I'm going to take a long, and I'll take a 2% loss, and then go to 2 to 1, which brings us back right up to this trend line, which is not a surprise, right? It would not be a surprise for us to come back and retest this before we actually roll back over, and we might end up creating a W in order to break higher up to the $55,000, which is my ultimate target for price action. So we're gonna wait and see as this thing plays out, because we don't know how it's going to play out. We don't know whether it's going to break up and head to this line, or we don't know it's going to break down and head to this green line here and test it before we go higher. So we have to wait and let the market tell us what to do. All right, and so if you want to trade that, right, you can do so by heading over to Bybit, by typing in bybit.davincij15.com, or you can head over to Femex by typing in femex.davincij15.com, right? And here I'm going to open up an account here and show you guys how to use Femex in the next little while, because I don't have a video yet for Femex, and I will be doing one very shortly. As you can see, my trade is doing extremely well, right? Even though it's down a little bit, it was at the high of like $160,000. It's $145 right now, so I'm going to be keeping that open and see where this thing could take me. Basically, it's been an awesome trade, and I'm going to hold it. I also have one on in Ethereum, right? That's doing very well as Ethereum continues to pump, and it's backed off a little bit. All right, so let's go over to Ethereum, right, and see what we can see in the price charts. All right, so let's go to zoom out, and you can see, right, we broke out of the rising wedge. We're still headed to my target of $1,900. I noticed that we are having trouble breaking through here. You can see there's a lot of volume. Whenever we get into the 1750 level, a lot of volume comes in, which means most likely there's a lot of people willing to sell Ethereum at these levels. And when that happens, right, even though you could say, well, look, there's a lot of volume, and it's on a green candle, what that means, you have to understand what that means also. It means there's a lot of people willing to sell to the buyers at that price. That's a key thing. And so if those sellers don't exhaust and they continue, right, and you can see that they're not exhausting, meaning they're like, oh, you want to buy Ethereum at this price? Okay, here you go. There is a likelihood that this could turn negative very shortly. We go down to let's head over to let's head over to these other charts, and you can see there is pressure building here, massive pressure building on Ethereum to the downside, as you can see from these indicators. Right, and that's caused by the massive volume of people actually willing to sell at these levels, and so we have to take precautions, right? I would normally close this trade right here, looking at this, but I'm going to hold it open, right, for a while and see where it can go, and I'm willing to take the risk that I get liquidated, because it's possible, right? A 40% correction in Ethereum is very possible at any time. So let's go over to the daily and show you that possibility. And where I got in was at $1,300. So I am still taking a big risk by holding this chart, this trade open here, because a simple correction of let's see here, 40%. Let's go to 30%. That's 20%. It gives you to 1,400, and there you go. 30% gets you right to my open. Where I open the trade, and 40%, right, gets me liquidated. So I am taking a big risk here, big risk. But I'm willing to take it. And let's see what happens, right? 40% is all the way back down to almost $1,000 per ETH. Is it possible that we do that? Yes, it is. Very possible. It might not be as likely in this bull market, but it's possible. And this has happened when we have these kind of crazy bull markets. That kind of move is not out of the question. All right, so just make sure you trade with a position of strength, and you accept, if you're willing to take that kind of risk, you accept the consequences of that particular behavior. And if you're willing to accept it, go right ahead, right? Do it. Alrighty. Alrighty. With that said, let's head over to talk about all the different haters that are out there. You know how, right? There's a lot of Bitcoin haters, people who are like top callers, haters, right? Can you name some of those Bitcoin haters? I'm sure you can, right? And right, our favorite, right, is actually Peter Schiff, right? Let me just bring up Peter Schiff. I mean, I'm wondering if anybody can find out if he's okay, man. he must be dying there with the Bitcoin going to breaking to new all-time highs, getting up to $48,000. And he says all of us are going to get wiped out, right? And it's just unbelievable that he since $1, well, $5 or something like that, he's been hating on a Bitcoin, right? We've had a lot of top callers lately. I remember back before, just before this thing popped, I was getting a lot of people telling me, well, you know what, that's it. Bitcoin's 42,000 was the high. That's it. It's going down. Kevin O'Leary says, right, Bitcoin's is a big nothing burger, right? Yeah, nothing going higher. Nothing but going higher. And my favorite, right? I mean, I have some other people here on Telegram and on Twitter. I copied them and put them on Telegram. You'll find me on Crypto's channel, right? That's an open channel that I'm in. So if you want to join, you could join the Crypto's channel as well. The links are in the description, right, to join that. And if we head over to this place, this video right here, I'm going to play this part right here, and I want to discuss this.
You can have it after I die, but you can't do anything with it except sell it to somebody else. And the interesting thing, of course,
yes, this is a key thing, right? Can I Warren Buffett, right? Since he has billions of dollars in the bank, right? He's got billions of dollars in the bank, and it's just electronic note. Last time I checked, the only thing you could do with electronic note is to give it to somebody else for something else, right? Can you do anything else, Inti? Can I ask you a question, right? Can you do something else with your money in the bank other than give it to somebody else for something else? Can you do something else with it?
Sorry. Could
you do something else with it?
Question, because I just lag.
Can you do something else with the money that's in your bank account?
No, you can't.
Other than giving it to somebody else? No, right? Because it's just a digital asset that you could transfer to someone else, and that's what's money. That's what's money, right? And you know what? He says it's going to go to zero, right? And you know what? Actually, he's right. Now that I think about it, because what's the difference between zero and infinity, right? What's the difference? Both have no value because the Bitcoin price is going to be reached to infinity in dollars, where the dollar cease to exist, and then thus that means it's an infinity price in dollars. So it's actually zero in dollars. So I think Warren Buffett's right on that. We both have to agree on that. Oh my goodness! All right. Oh well. Anyways, I want to close this off by you guys got to check out Little Bubbles edition. If you want to party a little bit, right? You want to enjoy this pump, right? Check out Little Bubble. I have the links in the description. I can't play the whole thing because copyright and all that kind of stuff. So check that out. It's lots of fun. All right. With that said, I want to go on to talking about managing your emotions and dealing with when to buy into a particular alt. Looking at this alt, it was a lot lower before when I was looking at it, when I started looking at this chart. What did I tell you? What did I say about this thing? I said, hey, you should not be buying up here. I always tell you that. You should not be buying assets at their highs, right? You should not be the one who's be buying up here. You should not be that. You need to be the guy at least buying down here at the 61.8, 78.6, or even lower, right? I even say it for my coin, right? I even say that for my coin. Haven't I said that, Inti, for my coin? For the DJ15? I told people not to buy it up here. You should not be buying up here. And I'm sure if you go back to my videos, I told you that. I'm sure of that.
Yes, you did.
And yeah, and you should have been buying it down here. In fact, we draw fibs. We told you where to buy it, and I bet you that was exactly where the fib level was, right? To buy this asset. So Here, let me just switch this to reverse that, and there you go. So yeah, anyways, there we go. As you can see, if we go back down to here, right, you can see the 61.8, right, the 78.6 is right there, where you should have been a buyer, right? Not way up here, okay? That's where you are a seller. You're a seller at the highs and a buyer at the lows. Just remember that. Now that we pumped a little bit, do we have a lot more room to go? Yes, we do. I really think my coin is going to do extremely well sometime in the future. I don't know how well it will do, but you know what? Just keep in mind, right? This is all speculation. My coin is about getting into my Telegram group, and if you want to sell it back to me, you can. Right? I don't know if you'll be selling it back at the same price that you bought it at, but you can do so on Uniswap right here. It's really that simple. Okay. And then participate in the live streams, of course. Alrighty. With that said, thank you all for watching. Just remember that Bitcoin is real. Bitcoin's here to stay, and you need to be a part of it. You really do. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
Goodbye, people.